Welcome! And today we'll dive into a couple of stories and their reactions to the posts. Entitled Mom thinks she has to be invited everything, gets husband to scream at us. And Entitled Dad demands I fail because I caused his daughter to fail. Hi, this is Derek. I just put the Drama Llama, Fred, back in his pen so that I can do this quick video for you with some of the stuff that Fred found on Reddit earlier today. If this is your first time watching our videos, help me out by watching to the end, and then giving me some feedback in the comment area below. And if you want more of these videos daily, don't forget to like and subscribe, with notifications turned on for this channel. Oh boy, let's get ready for some stories. Why won't it Thunder posted? Entitled Mom thinks she has to be invited everything, gets husband to scream at us. I had originally posted a version to our myth a-hole but was suggested to post here as well. Sandy is my uncle's girlfriend. No one in our family but my uncle likes Sandy. Why? Well, for starters, she's still married and living with her husband and daughter. Secondly, she's a huge narcissist, and throws a tantrum every time she doesn't get her way. About a month into my uncle and her dating, we were going to take family pictures. And she's there with her daughter. We asked her for a few pics with just my grandma and her kids and grandkids. But that didn't go over well at all. Sandy starts screaming that she's dating my uncle, so that means she and her daughter are family too. And deserve to be in the pictures just as much as anyone else. Sandy has even stalked my grandma, who's only 49 and in her late 70s. Back in March when the pandemic was starting, my grandma was still living alone. So she had to do her own errands. My grandma went to Costco one day and there Sandy was casually running into my grandma. Sandy was thinking about getting a Costco membership. But she doesn't like the Costco that's 30 minutes closer to her. Then a few weeks later she shows up at the same pharmacy that my grandma goes to. Because Sandy's pharmacy didn't have the medicine she needed. So they sent her to one that was 35 minutes from her. Sandy also showed up at my grandma's bank. On the exact day that my grandma decided to open savings accounts for her grandkids. Sandy asked my grandma what she was doing. And when my grandma told her, Sandy launched into a fit because, "What about my daughter? She's technically your grandkid too." My uncle and her had only been dating for about 3 to 4 months at that point. Just as my grandma was about to say something, the bank's security came over and asked if my grandma was okay. They knew her from decades of her banking there, as well as all of her kids and grandkids. So when my grandma said no, they immediately escorted Sandy out. Shortly after that, my grandma moved states to live with my aunt, and that's so far been the last stalking incident. On Thanksgiving we all did a Zoom dinner instead of having a big gathering. About a half hour into the meal, my uncle's phone starts going crazy. It's Sandy. She starts demanding to know why she wasn't invited. And goes into full tantrum mode. So, my uncle caves and sends her the link. As soon as she gets on, Sandy starts screaming. And her daughter Amy, 12, is running around in the background screaming and crying that it's not fair. Sandy starts calling us all selfish bastards. And then her husband starts yelling at us that we can't do that to his wife. My grandma had had enough of Sandy and scoffed at her. "See? This is why nobody here like you. This is why we do everything without you. This is why I'm so glad that you and that rabid kid of yours aren't invited to my granddaughter's wedding." No big dramatic ending, we just ended the call because everyone was super angry. We decided to do another one without my uncle this time, and that was fine. What are your thoughts on Why Won't It Thunder story? Please share in the comments below. Here's how some Reddit members reacted to this story. Adlu reacted with, "You have inherited a pseudo-aunt. When she acts up, ask her if she treats her real family that way. Can I leave her at a fire station? They take unwanted babies, right? I think you need to cut the uncle out of the group. His morality is in question if he's playing with a married woman, and a crazy one too. Someone needs to tell him don't stick your dick in crazy. It's catching like herpes, and harder to get rid of." Dagny the Spencer reacted with, "Your uncle is dating a married woman. Her actual husband freaked out because she wasn't invited to her boyfriend's Zoom dinner. That's a lot to unpack." Advade2701 reacted with, "See? This is what disappoints me in humanity. The fact that people have the audacity to do this. Your uncle seems like he is in a controlling relationship with a gold digger. She literally looks like she is with your uncle for his money, while she is married. I don't know if your uncle is rich or not, but she is definitely there for the money. Candykins reacted with, please share the meltdown about not being invited to a wedding. If it hasn't happened yet, it sounds like it is only a matter of time. I will. And if my uncle pushes for her coming, I won't invite him either. Instead, I'll invite his ex-wife and mother of his kids and her husband because they're amazing people. Now we're down to the next story posted by Fatman XXL titled, Entitled Dad Demands I Fail Because I Caused His Daughter to Fail. This one will need a lot of context, so bear with me here. I'm 19 at college. Last year I started a language education career. My first language is Spanish, and even though I often have mistakes, I can understand and speak English. Then realized I wasn't in the right place, so I dropped out during the first semester, so now I'm studying theater, which is always my true passion. Anyway, during my first semester on language education, we had to do tutoring as a part of our grade. The college I went also had language classes on Saturdays for anyone who wanted to learn a second language. This college only allowed people on their language education's career that had either completed the Saturdays course. That, depending on your progress, can last up to 8 years. Or that may prove they can speak at least 2 languages by a written and oral exam. So I was doing tutoring for English speakers that struggle in their Spanish lessons. One of my tutees was a 18-year-old girl who shone by her absence. She didn't show up, not even once, and never gave me a heads up or explained afterwards why she didn't. I just reported with my teacher that she didn't appear. Then reached out to her to reschedule the date of our meeting and called it a day. We were given our tutees or parents' contact to set up the day. An hour of our meeting within the college facilities. Then the teacher assigned a classroom for the tutoring and had a full report of all tutorings we had to do. Nothing of interest happened until a few days ago. I received a call from a number I didn't recognize, and as the dumb boy I am, I answered. Me, hello, who's this? Entitled Dad, are you? My name. Me, yes I am, what can I help you with? Working on retail has taken its toll on me. Entitled Dad, it's your fault that my daughter failed her exams. Me, excuse me? I don't know what. Edie, you tutored my daughter and she didn't learn anything from you? You sabotaged her and made her fail. I'll report you to your teacher and make you fail too. Me, sir, I dropped out last year. Edie, that's because of your incompetence. Then you have to pay me for wasting my time taking her to your classes. Me, sir, who's your daughter? Entitled Dad, I'm not telling you anything. Me, listen, I need to know her name to give it to my ex-teacher, so he can tell you about my tutoring with her. Entitled Dad, says daughter name. Me, sir, she didn't show up once too. Entitled Dad, don't you dare lying, I took her to tutoring every time you summoned her. I want to talk to your teacher right now. I guess he forgot I told him I dropped out. Me, wait a moment. I checked my cell phone for my teacher's number and quickly gave him a heads up on what was happening. I told him the number and asked if is there anything else, but he hung up on me. A while later my teacher informed me of how rude the parent was with him and how he complained of me saying I've been rude to him. And I lied, telling him his daughter never did tutorings with me and demanded I had to fail this semester. The teacher explained that I dropped out. Then showed him the empty reports of her tutorings, explained to him that her daughter and I never met. He told me that after he sent him the reports, the dad stayed silent for like 20 seconds and then hung up on him. So I guess I won't fail at the college I don't attend to. Edit, I meant I'm studying theater right now. I tried to sound it out and failed miserably. What are your thoughts on Fatman XXL's story? Please share in the comments below. Here's how some Reddit members reacted to this story. Temporary 26957 reacted with, I don't know what to say. If he dropped her off, she is obviously skipping and to not believe you. Bloody heck. He must have been dumb. Hope you are okay. I think he may have lied just to intimidate me or something, but don't worry, I'm okay. I'll bet his precious daughter never lies to him. I say as sarcastically as possible. That pause was him realizing he had been tricked. She threw you under the bus and skipped out, no doubt. I had to deal once with a similar situation of a teen not attending a class a parent paid and dropped them off for. This sounds like the dad had some righteous anger based on what he knew. Once he heard the truth, the pause does sound like him reevaluating whether his facts are correct. That is exactly what that was. And it's glorious to see that realization when you're dealing with an entitled person like this. I had the joy of seeing things click once. Working customer service in a cell phone call center. Woman was mad about a premium text service fee she was being charged for several months. She insisted that she would never sign up for a service called Premium Boobs 30. And she was pretty darn abusive to me. I finally got to speak and just said, "Ma'am, do you happen to have any teenagers in the household who would have access to your phone?" She went from screaming banshee to silent pause. Then just a calm, "Thank you for your help," and hung up. It was great. A trick of the trade: if anyone is rude to you on the phone, you can end the call. Don't even tell them that you're going to do it. Just do it. If they call back, just apologize for the call dropping, and drop it if they continue. An ended call with a rude person is a dropped call. Daniel Kratos 219 reacted with, "I think this dad was not stupid but just trusted his daughter more than he should have. And his daughter took advantage of that. We always say that parents should trust their children over strangers, and the parent was following that. And in the end, when he realized his daughter was lying to him, he would have been effing pissed. This explains his actions but doesn't excuse his rude behavior to you and the teacher." The Ben Mix 11 reacted with, "His daughter just lied to him and he bought it, that's it. He didn't have to be rude though." Shaved Cock and Balls reacted with, "What the F is tether witch?" They said Spanish is their first language, which means there will be some mistakes when they're writing in English. They meant, "I wasn't in the right place so I dropped out during the first semester, so now I'm studying teaching. Which has always been my true passion." And finally, Rona Rulin reacted with, "I wonder how it was he didn't realize earlier she wasn't attending. Did nobody contact him about all the no-shows? Too bad you got the flack, dad's a jerk." BTW, I think the phrase you were looking for is, "She was conspicuous by her absence." Well, there you have it. A perfectly great set of reactions from a bunch of upstanding citizens. Help support this channel by smashing the like and subscribe buttons. And hit that silly little bell as well to ensure you get the latest videos as they come out. Fred is always finding stuff for me to post regularly. So this is Derek signing off. Thanks for watching. Good grief, it sounds like Fred is out of his pen again. He must have found more stories for me to share with you. See you soon.